crafting buddies. How are you today, boys and girls? Thank you so much for being here at Crafting with Grammy. I'm so happy you are. Who likes my owl hat? Pretty cool, huh? For today's craft, we're going to be going deep into the forest and we're going to be making these really awesome snowy pine cone owls. Isn't that neat? So settle in with me and let's get crafting. I'm so happy you're back with me. I'm ready to start crafting, aren't you? I've got on my crafting apron and I brought out my craft basket to see what we're going to need in order to make our really cool snowy pinecone owl today. So let's take a look inside and see what we need. So we're going to start off with a pine cone. Now, Grammy's very lucky. I live in the woods, and so I can gather pine cones anytime I want. As a matter of fact, the beginning of today's video, that was my backyard this morning. So if you don't live near the woods, you can get a pine cone at any craft store. Or, you know, you could ask Mommy. She may just have some left over from Christmas decorations that you could use, and that'd be terrific. You're going to be needing a marker. You can use either black or brown, either one. You're going to need a craft stick. I'm using a blue one left over from our sea turtle video, but any craft stick will do just fine. You're going to be needing some googly eyes, some small ones. Now, I know Grammy uses googly eyes in her videos quite often. If you don't have googly eyes at home, no problem. Just make some out of black and white construction paper. That'd be terrific. You're going to need some glue. Grammy's going to use a tacky glue today. You're going to need some either cotton fiber fill or just cotton balls. And I'm going to use cotton balls with my owl today. You're going to be needing some felt. And we're going to need white, black, and yellow. And as you can see, I'm just using bits and pieces left over from other craft projects. It's not going to take much. But if you don't have felt at home, again, no problem. Just get out some construction paper and use that instead. That'll work out just fine. I think that's it, except one last item, our hot glue gun. Now, as always, if you don't have a low temp glue gun, it's very important that you ask Mommy or Daddy or maybe an older brother or sister to help you with this. Very important, okay? And that's it. So let's make some owls. All right, Grammy is zoomed in really well so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'd like you to start with getting your pine cone out and either your cotton balls or your cotton fiber fill, whichever you decided to use, and your craft stick. You just kind of want to pull them apart so that we get kind of a ribbon looking just like that, okay? And you're going to want to do that to all of them. And we're going to start filling our pine cone with our cotton. So Grammy likes to start at the bottom, so that's where I'm going to start today. And you're just going to fill that in and go around each little piece of that pine cone and just wrap it around. Keep going all the way around until you've met back to where you started with the cotton, okay? Perfect. Now I want you to take that craft stick and I want you to push that cotton as far as you can into the pine cone. So you're pushing that cotton back in to the center of the pine cone, just like so. And you're going to want to do that all the way around until you've finished. And then you'll grab another piece of cotton and do the exact same thing until we have filled the entire pine cone full of cotton, just like that. All right, I'll meet you back here when we're finished with our pine cone. Okay, so we're back. So hopefully everybody's pine cone looks just like that, with just the ends of the little branches of the pine cone sticking out. It took quite a bit of cotton, didn't it? All right, we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna move to the second part. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that aside and put my cotton balls away and my craft stick. And guess what? Grammy found scissors in her craft basket and I forgot to tell you about those. So you'll need to get some scissors out now too. All right, so the next step I'd like you to do is take that piece of white felt or white construction paper, whichever you decided to use, and we're gonna cut out about a 3-inch square. So Grammy will get started doing hers. If it isn't perfect, no problem. And I'll set that rest aside. Okay, so we end up with a little square just like that. Okay, now I'd like you to take that square and I'd like you to fold it right in half. Okay, and hanging on to the folded side. So I've got two open sides here and we've got the folded side in the middle. I'd like you to hang on to that. And we're gonna cut out a half of a heart out of this so that we can make a heart shape out of it, okay? So Grammy's gonna go ahead and get started. I'm sure you've all cut out hearts before. So Grammy will go ahead and do hers. And we're making the little owl's wings right now. Perfect. Okay, let me get rid of that. So you should end up with a little heart, just like that. Okay, now fold that heart back in half, just like so. And I'd like you to cut it right in half, okay? So on that folded line, I want you to go ahead and cut that heart right in half. So you should end up with two pieces that look like teardrops, okay? Super. All right, now I'd like you to take your scissors and we're gonna round this tip off so it doesn't come to a point. I want it to be just a little bit rounded. So just take that tip right off the top. So just take that triangle right off. Perfect. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. Super. So you end up with them rounded, more like that, okay? Perfect. Now his wings are done, so we'll go ahead and set those aside for now. Terrific. Now I'd like you to get out some of that yellow felt that you had. We just need a little bit. So I'd like you to just cut a little square out of that. Maybe, maybe 1.5 inches long at the most, just so we end up with that. Okay? Perfect. Now, I'd like you to cut 2 circles out of that piece, all right? So we can just fold it over on itself again. So I've got 2 open ends here and the folded part here. We're just doubling it over so that we make our circles the same size as we cut them out. So just eyeballing it, you're gonna go ahead and grab your scissors. Whoops, mine are stuck on the yellow felt there. And we're just gonna cut out 2 circles. They don't have to be perfect. Just all the way around. Super. We're cutting out the owl's eyes. All right. So has everybody got theirs cut out? Terrific. So 2 little circles. All right. Let's set those down on the table. And this is where we're going to get out our googly eyes. Or if you didn't have googly eyes, you can make your own with white and black construction paper, and that'll be just perfect. All right. So Grammy's going to get her googly eyes out. And I think I'm going to use, I think I'll go with a medium-sized googly eye today. You can choose whatever size you want. It's going to be just great. Okay. Now we're going to glue those to these 2 yellow circles here, and you want to get the googly eye right in the center of those 2 circles. So Grammy's going to get out her tacky glue, and we're going to just put a little bead of glue right in the center of each one, just like so. Great. Okay. Now just stick those googly eyes right on that little yellow circle that you just cut out. Just like that. And I'm going to stick the other one on, staying right in the center of that yellow circle. Terrific. So you end up with 2 eyes for your owl, okay? Now we're going to set those aside, and we're going to move on to his beak. So I want you to take just a little tiny scrap of black paper or felt, whatever you're using, all right? And we're just going to cut out a little bit of an oblong shape out of it, okay? So Grammy will show you real quick. You're just going to cut out an oblong shape, an oval shape basically. Just like so. Let me go ahead and round that one up there. There we go. All right, so that's going to look just like that. That's going to be your owl's beak, and you can make it as big as you want or as small as you want. It's up to you. All right, we'll set that aside. Now I want you to get out those 2 wings that you just cut out, and we're going to get out our marker, whether you're going to be using a black marker or a brown marker, either one. And go ahead and lay those on the table. I think I'm going to use a brown marker today on my owl. And starting at the top, so at the big side, Here's my little end at the big end. You're going to start up there, and you're just going to make little half circles with your marker. And you're just going to go like that. All right? And you're going to do that all the way down. Super. Grammy will get started doing hers. They don't have to be perfect. Just little happy smiles is basically all you're doing. And Grammy's almost done. You're just making the feathers on his wings. All right. So it's going to look just like that when you're done. Okay? Grammy's going to do her other one now. All right. So Grammy's got both of her wings done. Has everybody got theirs? With the little half circles, the little smiles on them? That's perfect. His perfect little feathers on his wings. All right. Super. Now you go ahead and set those aside. And we're going to get our pine cones out. Okay. Now comes the important part to get help with. And that's going to be using our hot glue gun. Okay. So make sure that you get help with that. And we're going to start with his eyes. And you just want to center them on the pine cone wherever you want to put it. I think I'm going to find this side of my pine cone was just a little bit jaggedy there. So I think I'm going to turn my pine cone around until I find a really good place that I want to put them. And I think it's going to be on this side. So you can go ahead and check your pine cone out for which side you want to make the front of your owl. All right. Super. Then we're going to go ahead and take just a little bit of hot glue and put it on the back of that yellow piece of paper or felt that you had. And it doesn't take much, just a little bit. Back in the holster it goes so we don't get burned, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and stick that on one side. Just like so. Everybody got that? Great. Okay, Grammy's going to glue the other eye on now. And you want to glue it real close to the other eye, just so that they're almost touching. Okay, let me show you real quick. So Grammy's going to glue the other one about right there. And just a little press will do it. There, your owl has his eyes. Super. Now let's put his beak on. So get out that beak that you cut out. That's going to be this little black piece that I asked you to cut out. Okay? And we're going to put a little bead of the hot glue on that too, so it'll stick. And the reason that we're using the hot glue gun is if you use your tacky glue, it doesn't stick too well to a pine cone, so we want to stick with the hot glue gun, okay? All right, so Grammy's going to put just a little dab of glue on hers. Again, like I said, it doesn't take much, just a little bit. All right, now we're going to stick the beak right between his two eyes, just like that. All right, so Grammy's going to glue hers on. Just like so, and you want to center it between those two eyes. There we go. All right, now he's got his beak. Everybody got their beaks on? Super, we'll move on to his wings then. So you want to go ahead and get his wings back out. And let's see here. There we go. All right, now the top of the wing, or the big part. So you've got the little part and the big part. You're going to glue just the top of the big part to him. All right? So your bead of glue only needs to go along the top here. All right? So Grammy's going to do hers. Put just a little bit of glue on there. Like I said, it doesn't take much. All right. And then face your owl towards you so that you can see where his face is, so that you can center his wing on. All right? And I'm going to go ahead and stick mine on the side there. It'll be just like that. All right, everybody got theirs on? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and glue the other one on now. So again, around the big end on the back, just at the top there, just like this. We're just gonna run a bead of glue right there. Again, it doesn't take much when you're dealing with hot glue. All right. And then again, facing your owl towards you, so you make sure that you get it centered properly. I think Grammy can do it facing you so that you can see what I'm doing. You want to even the wings up and just stick that other wing on. Just like so. All right. There we go. And his wings are on. And guess what? You're all done. How simple was that? Your own little snowy owl. As always, I want to thank you so much for being here at Crafting with Grammy. I hope you had as much fun as I did today making these cute little snowy owls. I wanted to take a minute to share with you some pictures from some of my crafters that they sent. This is Girl Scout Troop number 33904 in Northern California. Aren't they amazing? And they did such a wonderful job, and I'm so happy they shared their crafting adventures with me. You can too. You can find me on Instagram at Crafting with Grammy. Now, for our next video, we're going to get a little fancy, and we're going to make these really pretty egg carton jewelry boxes. Aren't those neat? All right. Thanks again so much for being here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and press the subscribe button below. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.